Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight Podcast, presented by CVG. I'm your host, Sarah Brookbank. We have a great episode of the podcast for you today. First up, Lora and John Cowan of the Home Builders Association of Greater Cincinnati join us to showcase Cincy Homearama, which comes to Newport's Martin Gate in June. On NKY at Work, Nancy Spivey is joined by Dekuwmini Mornah of NKU, who highlights the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship's African Business Connect and their upcoming speaker series. Thank you to our podcast sponsors, CVG, our title sponsor, C-Crew Consulting, our digital sponsor, and our episode sponsor, Haran. There is still time to register for our largest DEI event of the year, Investing in Equity, Building an Inclusive Business Community, powered by Fifth Third Bank. Join us on June 9th as we explore ways to remove barriers for attracting and retaining diverse talent and building welcoming and inclusive workplace cultures. This event will feature a keynote address from Lillian Dukes, Senior Vice President of Technical Operations for Atlas Air, as well as a panel discussion and breakout rooms. You can register for this event now at nkychamber.com/events or nkychamber.com/equity. Before we meet our members of the week and hear from our sponsors, I want to plug Encounter NKY one more time. This talent retention program is designed for young professionals and those who are newer to the region. There's still time to apply for one of our upcoming cohorts, but time is running out to join the cohort that is starting in June. You can learn more and apply for this awesome program at nkychamber.com/encounter, or you can contact Dawn Denham. Her email address is denham@nkychamber.com. She will point you in the right direction and highlight why this is a great program for businesses to get their employees involved in or get yourself involved in if you are a young professional. Now, let's go meet our members of the week and hear from our sponsors, and Nancy and I will be back with your guests.
CVG Airport is the lowest fare airport in the tri-state region with 54 nonstop flights and direct international service to 7 destinations, including Paris, France, and now home to both DHL's and Amazon's global cargo hubs. The airport is furthering its position as leader in aviation and is deeply committed to being an economic driver for the community. You can learn more and start your next adventure at cvgairport.com.
Ranking on Google Search and Maps is easy to understand, but hard to do. It requires constant effort and attention, uploading new photos, responding to Google reviews, writing weekly posts, and checking suggested updates. Google listing optimization takes experience and time, and there are no shortcuts. C-Crew gives your Google My Business account the steady, consistent attention it needs to be effective, optimizing, updating, and expanding critical content every single week. From local retail stores to large regional networks, C-Crew generates content, establishes benchmarks, and creates dramatic, measurable increases in engagement. So what can C-Crew do for your business? More calls, more clicks, more clients.
Congratulations to our members of the week. You can learn more about these businesses by following the Northern Kentucky Chamber on social media, where we will highlight one of these businesses each day. Now, let's meet our members of the week. Supply Chain OKI is a nonprofit corporate-led collaborative focused on building a comprehensive talent development pathway. Bailout Systems is a game-changing technology company that develops life-saving products for high-risk industries. Rosie's Tavern has been around for 25 years in Covington and was created to be a bar that was accepting of everyone in the community. The mission of Dress for Success Cincinnati is to empower women to achieve economic independence by providing a network of support. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. Today we are joined by Lora, who is the Executive Director of Home Builders Association of Greater Cincinnati, and John Cowan, who is with Somerset Custom Homes and also the 2023 president of the Home Builders Association. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, and today we are talking about Homearama 2023. So let's jump right in. Tell us a little bit about your guys' organization and Homearama 2023.
Yeah, so the Home Builders Association of Greater Cincinnati was founded in 1934. So long established organization, and we are a collective group of builders, developers, remodelers, and related businesses, really aspiring to be on the leading edge of residential construction. So our association works really hard to make sure that we provide access and opportunities for our members to network, We provide education and a lot of advocacy on behalf of our members as well. And it's a great organization. Again, been around since 1934. Fun fact for you, we were actually established before our state level organization as well as a national organization.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That is very cool. You guys do a lot, and Homearama is your big event, correct?
Annually, yes. Yep. So I guess this year's show, this is going to be the 60th Diamond Anniversary of Homearama. I grew up in this industry working alongside my father. He always stressed that hard work and to appreciate everything that goes into building a house. As I reflect on the past 6 decades of Homearama and what that means to our association and industry, I'm reminded of the incredible growth and perseverance and innovation that our industry has seen. We've overcome market crashes, supply chain issues, got through the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a lot for everybody to deal with. And really, it's one of the biggest and most successful new home showcases in the country. Homearama truly provides an opportunity for us to come together and celebrate our industry and our accomplishments and our shared vision for the future.
Yeah, like you said, you guys is an industry, lots of adversity, lots of growth, especially in Greater Cincinnati over the years. When you think about this Homearama event this year, what makes it different than maybe years of the past?
Well, I think there are a couple things that stand out. In addition to celebrating 60 years, which is a huge accomplishment, this is actually our first show in Northern Kentucky. So we're partnering with the BIA of Northern Kentucky on this show. And generally we're north of the river. So
right.
This is a big deal for us. And again, a great location, urban style homes, convenience, all of that right there.
Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit more about like the when, the where, and how people can come.
Sure.
Okay. The when and where is June 10th through June 25th in Newport. Martins Gate is the name of the subdivision. Martins Gate is our second urban edition Homearama. Our first was in 2020. It was award-winning because at the time we were shut down for the pandemic. And the same developers that developed that site are also developing this, Ralph Meyer, John, and TJ Ackerman. They've been partners for quite a few years, turned out some beautiful subdivisions, a lot of which have been part of Homearama, or vice versa, I guess. Martins Gate's going to feature 8 houses and a variety of architectural styles. The show homes will range in price from $1.3 million for the houses, and townhouses will range from $750 and up. They're averaging about 2,600 square feet, included 2-car detached garage, a roof deck. Fantastic views. That's kind of what the show is all about. And then you can go on Homearama's website, look for ticket prices. You can get discounts for buying multiple tickets for multiple days. Just check us out. Come down and see us.
Yeah, you mentioned those spectacular views. That location in Newport is so beautiful, and it's a really cool development that is just right on the hill. You guys have kind of mentioned a little bit about it being so special, but when you guys are there, what do you think is going to really stand out to people that come visit this year?
It's really going to be the views. I mean, you have a panoramic view for miles. You can see downtown Newport, downtown Cincinnati, the river, just any direction that you look, they're fantastic views.
Yeah, that's something that people really want.
There's nothing that can really top those views. I guess you do have the levee, you do have the city of Newport to go down to. Right at the bottom of the hill, we got to do a tasting for recently because they're providing some products for the show. New Rift Distillery. So that was a fun time. But Newport obviously is growing. The city's trying to make it a lot nicer, restore some of the older areas. It's just a fantastic place to be.
Yeah. And these are luxury homes. These are very, very nice, brand new home building, obviously. What are people going to be seeing when they're in these homes?
So it's a great way for people to get design ideas, but you're also going to see the latest in home technology, energy efficiency. You're going to see everything that's on the cutting edge. The rooftop and outdoor living spaces, phenomenal at this site. Really capitalizing on the view that we have. In addition to that, you're really just going to see the latest and greatest that's out there to be offered to your custom consumers.
Mm-hmm.
For me as a builder, the home technology is really where it's at. anywhere from lighting, bringing all of the energy savings from LED, high efficiency furnaces, water heaters, those kind of things, and the interconnectivity that everybody's looking for today. You want to be able to say, hey Alexa or hey Siri, and ask them to do pretty much anything that you want to. So whether it's appliance packages, lighting packages, it's just the sky's the limit really with the new homes that we're building today.
Yeah, that's very exciting. One of the things I do want to touch on, because you mentioned the Northern Kentucky Building Industry Association, and they are also having Home Fest, which is right before your guys' event. One of the things that they're also seeing are these really modern home designs. I know that Homearama is also going to be featuring those. What kinds of things are you guys seeing kind of in that trend, that modern trend, what we're seeing in housing in Greater Cincinnati?
So really exteriors, minimalist looks. Everybody still likes to combine wood, stone, metals, all of those products. They lead towards a modern design as long as you're keeping the lines clean. The design on the inside is a unique thing in home building. You can make the inside look one way and you can make the outside look completely different. It just depends on how the customers feel about the home. But the majority of the houses that are down there are all going to have modern furnishings. It is that minimalistic look. Everything's sleek. It's not for everybody. There's plenty of people that live out in the burbs. But in a city like Newport, it's a great spot to introduce those designs.
Yeah. Laura, anything to add on that end?
Yeah, I think sleek is a great way to describe the homes, but also the natural light, because you have the windows that, again, we're really utilizing to take to maximize that view. So I think people are going to be really pleased, whether it's their style of home or not. Again, it's such a great place to get ideas for what you could do.
Right. And then before I let you guys go, do you guys have anything else to add about the Home Builders Association or your big upcoming event?
Yeah, so if you visit our website, cincyhomearama.com, you'll find a complete listing of all the events that we have that will take place at Homearama, as well as information on parking and, as John mentioned, on tickets. But we try to make this really the type of event where a family can come out and spend the afternoon, or you could make it a date night or go out with your girlfriends. We have different events like Sip and Shop, which is a big hit with the ladies. And just, we recognize local residents. We have Chamber Day, obviously, for local businesses, and just really try to make it something that capitalizes on all of the great businesses around us and really showing the best of our region.
Yeah. Anything else to add?
No, I think you put that very well.
Well, thank you guys both so much for coming on the podcast and talking a little bit more about Homearama. I know I'm excited for you guys to be in Northern Kentucky, and I'm looking forward to checking out these new homes.
Yep.
Excuse
Come
me.
down and see us.
Hi, I'm Nancy Spivey, Vice President of Talent Strategies for the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. And on today's NKY at Work segment, we're joined with my friend Dee from NKU. Dee, tell me a little bit about your role at NKU.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for supporting our initiatives. You have been very proactive in looking for opportunities for your members. And when we actually first talked, we were like, what can we do to support? And we actually appreciate that a lot. So that is coming from my dean, that is coming from me, and that is coming from all of NKU. So we appreciate your support. So at NKU, I teach entrepreneurship. I'm a professor of entrepreneurship there. I mostly teach the capstone course, but I also have this elective that I teach, which is called International Entrepreneurship. And we mainly focus on applying the tools to opportunities in Africa, so that the students can basically take an opportunity, assess it, and see whether it is something viable for a business to engage in.
So doing business in Africa, for someone from the United States, a business owner, a business leader, or somebody that's wanting to start a business, what are the skills they need? What tips can you provide them? What are some insights?
Okay. That's a great question. Every Africa has like 54 different countries, but the beautiful thing is that a lot of them align in many different ways, culturally and way of thinking. Resources are spread across the continent, so it may depend on where you go, but generally just have an open mind and believe that in Africa, American companies have a great reverence. They have great respect for the products and services that are coming from American companies. So that alone gives you a leg up, right? So that just having that open mindset and believing that I can do this here, that is the first step that I say you need to take.
So you're launching this series, this business series about how to do business in Africa, and we want to extend that information out to our chamber members. Tell me about that series.
Thank you, and that's just another example of your partnership, great partnership. This was something very fresh that you picked on and said this could be beneficial to NKY Chamber of Commerce members. So again, thankful for that. So the African Business Connect Speaker Series is part of a bigger program called the African Business Connect Program that we are trying to build here at NKU and to serve the region and beyond. So I'll just give you something little about the program overview, then I'll talk about the speaker series. So the program is set up to solve two main problems. One, NKU, we want to give our students a global mindset. Whether they are working here or they are working abroad, all of these companies are involved in international transactions one way or the other. So we are looking to provide them with some training that will broaden their global mindset. The challenge is that a lot of them are working and it can be expensive going on study abroad opportunities.
Sure.
So we were looking at innovative ways to bring that global mindset to the students here. So the African Business Connect program has three main areas: the speaker series, which we'll talk about. But there is another problem that we hope to solve with the African Business Connect program, and that is we notice that there is a very, very limited amount of business between the United States as a whole and Africa. Only about 1.2% of our exports, not actually exports, of our total trade in the world is with Africa.
Wow.
When you come to our region, only 0.12% of our total trade, that is northern Kentucky, all of Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio, only 0.12% of our exports, of our trade is with Africa, right? Then when we come to our home state of Kentucky, the story is even more depressing. We have only 0.04% of our trade that is with Africa. But like I said earlier, Africa actually has a lot of reverence for American products. They are willing to pay higher prices because they know they are going to get greater quality products and greater services. And I'll give you an example. My wife will go to the retail stores here, buy things at retail prices, pay the taxes on top of them, ship them to Ghana and pay the transportation and the duty in Ghana, and she still is able to sell them for a hefty profit. And most of the time, before they get there, people have bought it. So can you just imagine a company that is able to say, you know what, you don't pay the retail prices. Take it at the prices that we are giving it to the retail stores. You get to avoid paying taxes directly because you are exporting, and you only have to deal with your transportation and your taxes in your home country. That will make the prices even a lot more competitive and things will move faster. So with the African Business Connect Speaker Series, we want to solve two problems here. One, help the students learn from people who are already doing business in Africa, who have experience here in America. So these are mostly Americans that are successful in doing business in Africa, and they are telling their stories, their journey back to Africa, their experiences, the opportunities they see, the challenges that they face, and the strategies that they are using to overcome those challenges. And these are coming from the perspective of Americans doing business in Africa. So if an African comes here to tell you everything is great, it's because it's filtered through their cultural lenses, right? But if an American comes to tell you it may not be great, but you will be successful, then you know that it's also filtered through lenses that we are very familiar with. So that is one thing that will help our students. And hopefully it will also give information to our business community here to tell them there is demand, there is a need. Africa, based on my personal experiences and observations, they are craving for American business engagement. They are craving for American business leadership. But when that is not there, then they have to go to the next available option, right? So it's just like you are following a girl and the girl doesn't like you. Well, you go to the girl that likes you or the girl that is willing to entertain you. So it's the same with African businesses. So somebody asked me, how can American companies compete with Chinese companies in Africa? And my response is, if American companies are able to compete with Chinese companies in China, then in a more favorable environment like Africa, and I'll tell you why I think it's favorable, then it will be a piece of cake for the American companies, right? Why is Africa favorable for American companies? One, there are so many things in common between America and Africa than we have in common between Africa and China. One, there are over 2.5 million people who were born in Africa who are currently residing here in the United States. The corresponding number in China is about 300,000.
Wow.
That is one. Two, almost half of Africa has English as their first official language. And those that don't have it as first official language, they have it as second. So over 90% of the countries there would be able to speak English. Not a single country has in China as first or second official language. So it's easier for the American company to get. Third, like I said, there is just a craving for American, I say business leadership or business engagement, because the products are valued.
Yeah.
Yes.
So give us this, I know you and I have talked before, and I was really excited to learn about the number of franchise opportunities in the space, because we know, this is the at work segment. We're talking about workforce, but there's a huge opportunity, my understanding, to get a franchise and get it off the ground in Africa. So tell us a little bit about the KFC story.
Oh, yeah. That's one interesting story. So it's like most people don't even know Kentucky that well, but KFC has made Kentucky super popular because that is one of the most popular food chains in Ghana and a lot of Africa. It's like the fastest food chain that is growing around there. They love the chicken. Like I said, it's probably because it's finger licking good. or whatever it is just like they could connect with it.
Sure.
I think I probably mentioned earlier how when I first came to the United States to go to school in Ole Miss, they picked me up from the airport in Memphis. And I was in the flight, I couldn't eat much because I was not very familiar with the food. And I was looking for something with meat and soup to eat. So when I came down, I was like, okay, finally we landed. When they picked me up, I said, get me something to eat, right? And they stopped by McDonald's. I was like, okay, I heard this name. Maybe they'll have something good. Then they came back with bread and meat inside it. And I was like, okay, I want food, not bread. So the following day, they took me, okay, we'll get you food. And they gave me pizza, and it was bread. Then they also, then in the evening, we had another get-together, and it was sandwiches. So I was having okay, I just need real food. And I did not have, let me say, a good basis to understand American food in 2006 when I came here. Today, American food chains, franchises are all over in Ghana and Africa. Nobody that will come here will be as confused as I was when I first got here in terms of the food. KFC is doing great. McDonald's is there, it's growing. Pizza Hut is there. Papa John's is there. All of these chains that you can think about, they are just like endless. So apart from the products, you can even see that there is a movement towards American food. I don't know whether it's like this is a way to get closer to the American experience. I don't know what is driving it.
Sure.
But I tell you, American food is very different from African food for the most part. Yet these chains are doing so well. That in itself is testament to the desire for American products in the continent, in my view.
Great. So if people want to learn more, they can sign up for the series. We'll include the link. They can call you if they want to talk about business opportunities. The College of Business is a great resource in general for our employer community. So just want to thank you for coming in and sharing.
No, thank you so much. This is a wonderful opportunity to actually collaborate, and we look forward to engaging more with you with this program and hopefully many more programs to come in the future.
Great. Thank you, Dee.
Thank you so much, Nancy, for having me.
Hi, I'm Shannon Schumacher, Account Executive, Kentucky Market Leader. At Horan, we champion bold innovation to help employers and individuals thrive. As an industry thought leader, we explore new horizons in healthcare, benefits, employee engagement, and wellness. We work harder to deliver all the strategic benefits, planning, and execution you expect from a true partner. And we do it with laser focus on your short and long-term outcomes to help manage your benefits while improving your employee experience.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed hearing from our friends at the Home Builders Association of Greater Cincinnati and from Dee of NKU. Thank you to our podcast sponsors, CVG, C-Crew Consulting, and Horan. Don't forget that there is still time to register for our upcoming DEI event, Investing in Equity, on June 9th. You can register for that awesome event at nkychamber.com/events or nkychamber.com/equity. And like I said, there is still time to register for our upcoming June Encounter NKY cohort. You can get more information and apply for that at nkychamber.com/encounter. Finally, if you are a member who would like to be featured on the podcast, or if you're someone who is interested in joining the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, please reach out to Lynn Ablin. And if you're interested in sharing your workforce strategies and resources on NKY at Work, please reach out to Nancy Spivey. You can find their contact information on the screen in front of you or at our staff directory at nkychamber.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week.